Never
Been a
sucker,
aura.
lame, you can trust that.
See me
in the
club,
shaking,
ass.
I'ma bust that. Bust that.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jeremy's Pimptacular Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy the Pimp. Joining me perpetually from now on, co-host, Twitter user Trang. Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me finally for real this time, Jeremy, without having to pay me. But it just reminds me of that. Do you remember like years ago? I think we've known each other for 8 years, but do you remember the time when I had this job doing Padres content and I told you guys about it and you were excited, but you were curious to say, oh, why are you doing Padres content when your strength is NFL and NBA more? And now it's like you didn't see the potential in me and now you do and want me here, so I'm not quite sure why.
What? That's precisely why is I didn't see the potential in you back then, and now look at you. You're blossoming into this force, digital force online, and I recognize you for the star that you are and that you're becoming. So
So are you using me? I don't understand.
yes,
Okay.
but
Well,
we got free sunglasses out of it. Speaking of free
yay.
sunglasses, guys, knockaround.com, code word knock15_pimp gets you 15% off your next purchase. Hey, it's heating up. May Gray is here, but you still want to look cool.
Always.
Get your knockaround sunglasses at knockaround.com. Thank you for sponsoring this week's episode of Jeremy's Pimptacular Podcast, coming at you live from the Friar Studio Network. So, Trang, you're back. Welcome. How's everything going? How's your life? How's your mood? How's digestion? Just give it all to us. How's it going?
Things are going well, except for sports-wise, not really.
Oh, wow.
Digestion.
What happened?
Well, just the Clippers for one. I was trying to log on here just to hack this account and just talk about it and vent about it, but I couldn't log in. I think it was too many failed attempts. But maybe we get that until later. Just before hopping on here, somebody said I was trying to seek attention over my water tweet about Tatis, and I guess he was right because I'm on here doing a podcast with you too. So
It's contagious. Once you get a drop, it's hard to quench your thirst. That was a good one. Look at that. Anyway. Aren't you going to ask how I'm doing?
oh, I guess yeah. How have you
I'm
been?
doing pretty good. I'm down 12 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Pimp's journey towards
Summer body.
the escape of obesity is going well. So we'll see how we end up in a couple months here. But that's kind of been consuming most of my free time, stressing about my outward appearance and what others think of me. So
Is this an
what else is new?
Ozempic ad?
What was that?
Is this an ad for Ozempic?
Oh, I sometimes I think what that would be like. I mean, obviously the results are so great for so many people who take them, and I do think, and I'm not a doctor, but I do think for people who are like very, very overweight,
Mm-hmm.
I think because I think there's like some risks to like Ozempic and those types of products. But I think the risks of being like super, super overweight like
Yeah.
probably outweigh whatever
Mm-hmm.
risks like Ozempic come with.
Mm-hmm.
So in that standpoint, I think they're like a pretty positive thing on society. I think they'll get better formulas and better alternatives that are going to help people in the long run without as many adverse side effects. But I do think that can be helpful for a lot of people. Now, people who, and I guess most people who have 40, 50 pounds to lose or whatever, and still want to maintain like some sort of like shape, that might not be the best thing. I feel like you see some celebrities, they've just got a very kind of like kind of a weird look about him, like post Ozempic.
Jeremy,
Um,
this is just a yes or no question.
oh,
Uh,
okay. Well,
no.
yeah, I probably will not be diving into that realm.
Okay,
But if you do, go for it.
got it.
Um, what we're talking about? Oh, you were mentioning something about your basketball team. What
Oh my
happened?
gosh.
What happened? God,
So
please
much help.
have the floor. Take the floor. It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I thought I had, was it last game was Saturday? I just had, I
Hmm.
had 3 days to recover, but every time someone mentions it, it pisses me off all over again. Listen, first of all, this team was not supposed to make the playoffs, okay, or had no intentions to. And I know you don't really care about basketball, but I'm just
No,
gonna let it fly.
go ahead. I'm into it.
And the fact that they've made it to the playoffs against, and they played a great series against the Nuggets, right?
A
Or
great
we thought
series.
they were. We thought they were, especially
Yeah.
the first 4 games. But let me tell you, it was a great season for James Harden. He was averaging about 22.8 points per season, 8.7 assists, 5.8 rebounds. Great, great. Losing Paul George, great. He stepped up. Norman Powell stepped up. He's Dr. Zubac, probably should have been Defensive Player of the Year, but that's biased too, but whatever. Um, and you had Kawhi come back with 2 legs that probably don't work or screaming every day, did not want to play anymore, putting up 25.5 points per game in the regular season. And them carrying this to the first round of the playoff, absolutely amazing. One of the best series in the first round, right? Couldn't compare. But guess what happened? James Harden did not show up. He's
Mm.
never beating the allegations in the playoffs. Okay? Listen, game 7, I don't know what the fuck happened. I seriously do not. They gave up in the second quarter. Like it was, they like were defeated in the second quarter. You have Murray and Jokic who combined 0 for 19 in a whole quarter, and they're going to take advantage of that, right? No one stepped up. They had every role player in the Nuggets score more than anybody on the Clippers too, and no one showed up. And James Harden scored 7 points in the game 7. Like,
Oh
how
my
do you? That's the
gosh.
most embarrassing thing. Kawhi was the only one doing the work, and they had Christian, and then Nuggets had Christian Braun putting points on the Clippers. Russell Westbrook was killing the Clippers. Who would have thought that? But I don't know. I just feel like that's the most embarrassing thing. Even the players thought it was embarrassing. I really, but the crazy thing is that probably won't, that doesn't hurt as much as game 4, but that's another story to tell. Yeah, I was so pissed at this game 7 because even though I know moving to second round, we couldn't have not won against OKC because of OKC's ball movement. At least we would have beat the Nuggets. It's clearly we could, but no one showed the fuck up, and I was so pissed. Like I was trying to see if I could log on this podcast and just vent away and just make something. I don't know, but
Well, I hope you got it out of your system now. Are you like generally pro James Harden and then just kind of in the playoffs you choked, or are you anti James Harden in general?
I was anti James Harden when he wasn't on the team,
Mhm.
and then I became pro James Harden because I feel like he grew up in a sense of his personality and his game, and that was appreciative coming to the Clippers. But the thing is, the guy also did not show up on game 7, right? Or not game 7, just the playoffs in general. He also didn't speak to the media after 3 games that they lost. He did not speak to the media. He just left. So I feel like that's what leadership is that? What
Right.
leadership is that? Yeah.
Wow. Well, so I assume you're pretty bummed about that.
Yeah, I'm bummed, but like it's over now because I also
You're
know.
sad. You're sad. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm sure they have like a young core they can build around, right? They probably have a bright future ahead, I assume. Hopefully, for your sake.
To be honest, no, not really.
Oh dear. Well, I was trying to
Yeah,
give you something to be optimistic about, but
that's
at least you have
okay.
Kawhi.
For how
He's
long? I have no
he's
idea.
cool. Oh yeah, is Harden signed for next year?
He's gonna be a free agent.
Oh, he's gone.
But
So
then he's also 35 or 30, 35. Like
yeah.
I don't know what more can he want unless he takes a pay cut. So I don't know. 35 is old supposedly in sports, so
Yikes. Yikes
I don't
on
know.
bikes.
Yep,
Hey,
so that's
but
my life.
yeah, well, so I guess you're used to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you ever, being a Clipper fan and also a Padres fan, I find that so funny being a San Diego and an LA fan. It's like a Boston, being a Boston and New York fan. I can imagine when you're at Padre games and they're playing the Dodgers in town, and everyone's chanting BLA, BLA, and you're probably there like wait, maybe not all of LA, maybe beat only the part of LA that I don't like, but the rest of LA or the part that I like, don't beat them. Let them win. That maybe that could be your chant, like beat only the parts that I don't like of LA. What do you think about that?
I guess I can. I just can yell, please, 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 not me. I don't know. Like not my team, not my Clippers. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's got a nice ring to it.
Especially if Kawhi's gonna go watch another game.
Man, they got a. I do appreciate that Kawhi is a Padres fan. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
And then
I ha
Norman
I feel like
Powell.
I feel like I could have a dream that he would like force Steve Ballmer to move the Clippers to San Diego. How cool would that be? Is Steve Ballmer the Clippers guy? I got that right, right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
But I feel like that dream died once he built that incredible
Yeah,
stadium.
that is, no,
So
even if as unrealistic as that is, it's even more unrealistic.
yeah.
Um,
So how much do you like Kawhi? Like what do you know?
he seems good. It's funny seeing uh like a big NBA star, and I used to work with a guy that was like, oh yeah, like I had math with him at SDSU or something like that. It's funny hearing people, imagining him in like a classroom setting just with like normal people. Um, all I know is, but he seems like he is a little lacking in like certain parts of his game. I just know that like if like me and him were on the court together, like he needs to pray that he would not have to guard me. It would not end well for him because once I'm like warmed up and it's like kind of like
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
so I I don't know how he could realistically defend something like that. Um, I don't know, maybe if he practiced for a little bit or something, but I'm like out of breath now. It's hard.
But
Uh,
you thought that you could beat Kawhi.
I know I can be quiet.
Aren't you 5'2"
Basketball,
too?
it's what's in here, not what's in here.
Mm, okay.
He doesn't have that. See, because if he had more heart, he would have won the playoffs. But
He did have heart. He was the only one that had heart.
whatever. Hey, I'm so glad that you're backing the show. I feel like we. I mean, I think this, but other people seem to think this too. That we have this sort of like chemistry, but it's kind of like the opposite of chemistry. It's like we're like oil and water, but in a good kind of way. Um, so I want to thank you for coming back and gracing me with your presence.
I mean, of course, I know sometimes I get tired of your shit though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just don't know what's coming out of you.
Yes, that's fine.
But I guess
But
that's what I get for having an
you
annoying co-host.
you do a great job. You do such a great job. You deserve your own song. Who's the baddest chick in this club? She's the baddest chick in this club. Who's the baddest
Stop.
chick in
Please
this club?
stop.
She's the baddest
Stop.
chick in this club. Oh,
Jeremy,
well,
stop.
that was for you. So, but like I said, thank you for coming back. You're awesome. Anyway, back to the issue at hand. Our San Diego Padres. That's why people tune in. Things are going pretty well, Trang. Things are going pretty well, if you'd ask me. Unfortunately, my favorite player was just sent back down to the minor leagues after like 3 games, but it's fine. We got another really good player back in Jackson Merrill. Finally, did he? Is it true? Did he only play 11 games before he got hurt? I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't look at that. That's crazy that he had so many big hits and like I don't know, it just seemed so impactful in those 11 games. That's insane. But Jackson's back. boys are playing well. Tough loss last night, but that's going to happen. Hopefully they can, if they're able to bounce back tonight against Max Fried, who's been like amazing this year,
Oh, good.
that would be awesome. And then we've got the Rockies coming up this weekend. So you're getting Cronenworth back on Friday. Things are looking up. Things are positive. How are you feeling? What are your takeaways? Yeah, what do you think?
Well, especially let's start off with Jackson Merrill, right? You said it looks like he hasn't even missed a beat. He came back
Yeah.
yesterday with what, 2 hits, I
Hmm.
believe. Phenomenal. Just baseball's too easy for him, I think. But I feel like what needs to be talked about is I feel like people were obsessing. Yes, the whole bullpen meltdown sucked, right? It sucked, but we still lead the league in ERA,
Hmm.
and we're still a really great bullpen.
Yeah.
But I feel like people don't understand that it's it's gonna happen. We're gonna have these meltdowns. Yes, it sucked the way it went down yesterday. Yes, we expected from Wandy Peralta, but I think after the Pirate series, our ERA was 1.80 that we had, and yesterday I think it went up to like 234, which is still good. It's not
Yeah.
bad. But I feel like people shouldn't be so upset over it, because this is going to happen again eventually. We don't want it to happen, but we're only after this game, it's only 36 games, and the bullpen has protected this team so much when we didn't even have a good offense for a while.
Right.
Like everybody, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's not going to be the last time that the bullpen's going to have a performance like that. They're going to have their off days. I mean, Yankees are a team, and New York is a stadium where, a couple players get a hit, and like a player can hit a ball 320 feet and it goes over the fence. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes there's not a ton you can do. But like we saw on Monday with that kind of viral Mike Schilt crash out,
Hmm.
um, is that this team has the ability to bounce back and to not let kind of like negative things stick with them for very long. Like it's hard to imagine like a Mike Schilt team going on a losing streak for too long. I mean, it could happen, things happen, but they just seem to really have their wits about them, and uh, you know, they just seem real tough mentally. So it's been real positive to watch. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be at full strength on Friday. Um, Whatever happens tonight, so we're recording this on Wednesday, so just before uh, the Wednesday night game. If you lose to Max Fried, okay, like he's really
Yeah.
good. We're on the
Yeah.
road. You know, I would love to win. There's definitely a chance, but whatever. We got the Rockies this weekend. Um, so it's positive getting that, and it's pretty funny how like I think before the Giants series, what was that, like a week ago? Like things were starting to
Yeah.
get a little like dreary around here. Like, oh geez, like because we just got swept by the Rays, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
was
we had a
like
spring training lineup.
exactly like half our lineup was out. All
Yeah.
and not only half of the lineup was out, but it was like all of our lefties.
Hmm.
So like right-handers were just having their way with us,
Yeah.
and then we bounced back against the Giants for 2 games, which is kind of surprising. I was like, oh, that was kind of nice. And then 3 against the Pirates, and we win the first game against the Yankees. Like, oh, look at us, we're right back in it, and we're just a half game behind the Dodgers still. So
Yeah.
things could be a lot worse. We're still off to this great start. I wonder what our vibe would have been like if we did a podcast like during that little losing streak we were in, and
Miserable.
yeah, if we'd be a little more down in the dumps.
Yeah. With me, Padres and Clippers losing some terrible games. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great content.
No,
The
I'd be
train
crashing out.
train crash out.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Oh man. Um, yeah. Gosh, what else? I'm interested to see how Cease does tonight. Mr. over 5 ERA. Um, over
I'm
a month into the
terrified, to
season.
be honest,
Yeah.
especially at
He,
Yankee Stadium.
yeah. I don't know. He just when we talk about giving out extensions to people who are in their last year, I think Arise comes to mind just
Yes.
because, and I don't think Arise is like an amazing player, at least I didn't think that until he wasn't in the lineup for like a week, and I saw what it was like without him in there,
Hmm.
and I was like, ooh, man, it feels like a subbing him out. Just you feel the loss, and then as soon as he's back in there, things start to click again. So based on that, that's what makes me want him to stay around for a long period of time. I definitely, I don't think he would get like $100 million contract. I mean, he's
Hmm.
not like super young. He's not fast. He doesn't play great defense. He doesn't hit for power. I can't see a team giving him over like $100 million. And if that's the case, I think he's someone that we should definitely. And he seems like he's got great vibes. He loves playing here. Everyone seems
Yeah.
to love playing with him.
Hmm.
He's just been a super positive player for us. So he's one, and then King is another one who I think
Yes.
you kind of have to
Yeah.
find a way to keep here. Another guy who seems like he likes it here. He's developed this reputation as this great starter here. I'm sure. I mean, he had success beforehand as a starter, some limited success, but I'm sure like him and Ruben have a good relationship,
Hmm.
and it's helped him kind of flourish into what he is now. So hopefully, if new Seidler owner guy can get him what he wants or at least close to it, he'd be willing to stay. Dylan, even for a hometown discount, I don't know if I really
Yeah.
need him to stay long term. I mean, there's so many trade rumors about him in the off season. I guess I was like already kind of prepared for him to take off,
Hmm.
but uh, yeah, I mean, those two playoff games still kind of have a sour taste in my mouth,
Yeah.
and he hasn't really bounced back since then consistently. Um, I mean, sometimes pitchers take a while to get into their groove through a season. So, and he has a history of, success year after year. It's not like, he had one good year that we're hoping he can get back to. Like he's been good his whole career. So I'm hopeful he'll bounce back, but the risk of him long term, in playoff games year after year, I don't know if I would be for that.
Yeah. I agree with the whole Cease thing too. I get
Yeah.
oh, I know the comparison of he's like another Snell for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, his pitch count does go crazy in each
Yeah.
game, right? He can't really settle in sometimes, and
Hmm.
we would like someone that's going to last us the 6 innings. I feel like he doesn't really give us that. And even if like I thought that his numbers were usually good away against
Hmm.
AL teams, but yeah, like I guess one of his worst games was against the A's, right, this year. And I get it's a Mickey Mouse ballpark, but still, that's a Mickey Mouse ballpark.
Yeah.
You should be able to do better. Um, but yeah, I definitely think I agree with you. King, I feel like should be first priority,
Yeah.
right? And our rise, I feel like he just came back from one game and we've been doing well. And it's like the energy shifted, everything shifted, and we can see like the clips of him and man, he just gets along with everybody. I feel like he's our clubhouse guy that
For sure.
you would want to sign.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's and why he should be kept, but also I feel like he's also the RBI guy for us too.
Hmm.
That's something. And then just pitching wise, I mean, we are gonna get Musgrove back at some point, and we still have Darvish to worry about. And
Yeah.
so yeah, maybe Cease can go, and then obviously keep Nick Pivetta if we can.
Oh yes. Yeah. He's been awesome. So
Yeah,
underrated, I feel like too. He's just
so much.
I hope he can keep it up because he's been awesome.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I think I saw a tweet today saying Darvish is like facing hitters today, so
Okay.
he's and I was getting worried because I felt like I didn't hear a update about him for a while, so I was like, is he still progressing?
I know, because
But
we did
I
hear
guess
he
he
was like
is.
starting his like rehab, right, or something like
Yeah,
that, and then we just didn't hear anything after that. There was like nothing else.
yeah.
So it's like, is there a setback again, or
Sounds like he's making progress, so
that's good?
that's a positive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Joe. Hopefully, I know he's pushing to come back in like October and be in the bullpen. That would be fun, but just don't do anything that's gonna like mess you up for the year after. Um,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, Cease. I mean, You mentioned he's like a Snell type because I think the book is out on him a little bit that he relies, from what I understand, he relies a lot on chase. Um, and so because he's got great stuff
Yeah.
people go fishing after his pitches a lot of the time, but if a team has like a patient approach where they're not swinging at borderline pitches or um, just trying to draw walks, he could definitely struggle. And we saw that with the Dodgers, a team who don't strike out a ton, don't they don't go chasing. That's what I meant to say is they don't chase a ton.
Yeah.
And teams like that, he's gonna get in trouble. So
Yeah.
maybe he can change his approach on the mound, but I don't know. You can change it on another team. I think we're good.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so another thing I wanted to bring up is I think in the Monday game, what was kind of like this like personified the importance of a rise is like let's say the bottom of the lineup starts a rally, like Lockridge or Wade get on,
Hmm.
like with one out, um, like you kind of have a choice to like so Tatis is up with two runners on base, um, which is scary for any pitcher. I mean
Yeah.
you don't want to give up a 3-run bomb, but then so you might a manager might think to walk him and face whoever's next, but like a Rise who is so good at putting the ball in play, hitting singles, like I feel like your chances of giving up a run are just as good pitching to Arise or Tatis. So, I do like that dynamic of if the bottom of the lineup is able to start a rally, it really puts the pitcher and the other team in kind of a dilemma of how they're going to pitch the top of the order.
Yeah.
Um, I was noticing that the other day. I was like, oh, this kind of puts us in a advantageous
Hmm.
situation to I don't know. It feels like we have all the right cards. I know
Yeah,
that's
and
not going to
I
happen every
yeah, and
game,
I
but
want to add on to that too. Like, it's surprising to me that obviously let's be honest, we all shitted on Tyler Wade. Okay.
yes.
But ever since he came back up, he's been working hard. He's been getting those hits in like we needed. Bottom of the order did look terrible on paper. It does not look great, but
Yeah,
they've showed up, him and Lockridge, right? And like you said, because they're able to get on, it really is so good and it wraps around with Tatis on our rise, who obviously can hit
right.
and get those RBIs in. So I feel like that has been so helpful, just the bottom of the order, stepping up too. Like,
And we just got Sean Reynolds back, who throws really hard and is very tall, so that's exciting. So our bullpen should be in good shape
mhm.
going into tonight and then to the Rocky series. I don't know who we play after that, but things are going good. We could potentially be in first place at the end of this weekend, maybe after today. How do you feel about that?
I feel great, but like the schedule was weird because we faced the Yankees while the Dodgers were facing the Marlins,
Yeah,
which is, even though they
nice.
lost yesterday, which is great.
Hmm.
Our Of course, Sandy Alcantara fucked up the
Oh
first
man,
game.
yeah.
Terrible. He has an ERA of like 8 point something, so I don't know. So obviously he blew that game the first game, but hey, if the Dodgers can keep losing too, that'd be helpful. That'd be
Yeah,
helpful.
I bet on Sandy to have a good game, whatever he pitched a couple days ago. Because I was like, he won't be bad against the Dodgers 2 games in a row,
Ugh,
and he was. Couldn't believe it. I
I
don't know.
know.
It's kind of relieving as somebody who was kind of pushing for us to trade for someone like him. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, bring him on. You see him now, it's like, yeesh.
But what if
Um,
we can fix him? We have Ruben
yes, I mean,
Niebla.
you got to imagine that like our staff is more equipped to handle his issues than whatever the Marlins are doing.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to lose, so why would they try to,
Yeah. They're
help
going to sell
him?
their team at the end of the season again anyway,
Yeah,
or sell their players again
exactly,
anyway.
exactly.
But also adding on to that,
Hmm.
I think it was like word on the street, not word on the street, but word on Twitter or whatever, we realized that the tipping the pitch situation
Oh, yeah.
is something that I feel like obviously needs to be fixed because
Ye-
clearly, shout out to Letters to AJ for putting up that whole video together. Always
Love that
great
guy.
breaking down. Yeah, great
Yeah.
at breaking down baseball. for
I
us.
feel like me and him are like very similar, like philosophically minded, like he's super like he knows all like the rules of baseball and how things work, and I can like read it and understand some of the words sometimes. So from that standpoint, we're like we're like anyway. Continue.
Okay, because I was like, if that's so, then why can't you bring it on this podcast?
All right,
But
enough.
okay,
Continue.
but yeah,
Jeez.
so so that's something I hope like Ruben Niebla can have picked up too, because we definitely don't want that to happen in course, right?
Hmm.
That's already hell for us, and if
You know,
that can just, I don't know, like yesterday, whoever was on second obviously was doing his little signs to show, hey, like just tipping, like just seeing everything. That sucks, and I feel like one of the pitchers during the Giants series too, that's the same thing that happened. Obviously, we saw it with
yeah,
Pavetta too, so
yeah. I
I don't know,
wonder.
that gets cleaned
I
up.
mean, watching a game, that's never anything like that. Like I notice. I don't think most
Hmm.
people would notice until somebody brings it up later. That's like
Yeah,
watching the runner on second,
yeah,
and it makes you think like, geez, like are all teams doing this to us? Like, is there like
yeah.
is all teams doing this to every other team? I assume not. I assume if you are able to see like the signs of another pitcher, you'd probably tell your own team like, "Hey, don't do what they're doing because I can see their signs on second."
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I guess it hasn't made its way to our team yet to figure out a way to deter that from happening.
Yeah, but we have one Thursday to figure it out, hopefully.
That's right. We haven't played a Thursday game like in a really long time. Kind of funny. Just
Yeah,
like a observation.
yeah, and I don't think we're
But
gonna play one for a while.
yeah, not sure how that happened. But hey, Padres are playing really, really well. Um, so well, in fact, that it kind of makes me want to dance. So
Wait, no, you don't have
I'll
to
show
do
you some
that.
of the.
Jeremy, you don't.
Okay.
No. Oh God. Do we have, Jeremy, you don't have to do that. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I feel like you don't even care that it's my half birthday.
Well, cheers. Does it matter?
I guess not. Not to you.
Are you trying to, is this something that you want our audience to know so they can leave a comment?
Yeah. Any type of praise or acknowledgement, send it my way, guys. Alrighty, guys. With all of that, that is the end of our episode. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Jeremy's Pimptacular podcast featuring our co-host Trang. Thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate it. How do you feel?
Hey, I just want to say thank you everybody for supporting me.
Well,
And that's it.
it's a kind of a joint effort, but that's good too. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. Let's go, Padres. See you
Great.
later.
Bust that! Bust that!
Bust that.